tell you about a hard question that I got over the weekend. A friend challenged me about my position on these campus protests, which I think are breaking the rule of law in many cases, and why my view here is different than my view on the Canadian truckers who disrupted traffic to protest COVID-19 policies a couple of years ago. And it was a good question. It goes to the heart of what we think about civil disobedience and the expression of opinions. Here's why I'm against what you're seeing at places like Columbia to UCLA. You're free to express your own opinion, but you're not free to break the law as you do it. We need to enforce the rule of law when other students cannot attend their classes. I do think it is an appropriate behavior once you've been warned, once you've been able to publicly express your opinion, no matter whether or not somebody else agrees with it. You got to express your opinion. You then have to actually respect the laws that allow other people to exercise their own freedoms. That's why I believe that universities like Ohio State and IU, Indiana, and Texas were in the right to actually forcibly remove and, when necessary, arrest students that stopped other students from being able to attend their classes and get the education that they have paid to actually get from those universities.
What's going on, everyone? It's Kenny here today, and I want to react to the college protests that have been happening all around our country, it seems like. And this gives credence to a book I read, The Naked Communist, and they talk about the 48 laws of communism. And one of the laws of communism is the takeover in the institutions of education, because he who controls the children controls the future. And it seems like college has really failed us in that aspect. Like, look at all the, like, it's so heavily, it's so surprising when people on the right, like myself or other conservatives or other just, independent, moderate people call out the blatant ideological dominance of the left in the education system. Leftists, liberals, they make excuses for it. Now when it's coming around biting them back in the now they want to complain. Now they want to try to hold these people accountable when it's too late. The left treat these protesters, Antifa, BLM, these college students who've been violent for days, for years actually. All I do is point out to Kyle Rittenhouse when he went and did his speech at I believe it was Memphis. Look how violent, look how almost like you can tell if he got out of that car, he may not have gotten out that day alive. Yet no one says anything, no one holds them accountable. Universities let these people be as violent and as disruptive as possible. But all of a sudden, when it comes to these Gaza protesters, now the government wants to get involved. Now they want to be held accountable. Make it make sense. Now, I'm all for, holding people accountable, but there's some inconsistencies here. And this is why I led up with the Vivek intro. Vivek pointed out, hey, how do we handle protests and freedom of expression? You let BLM destroy property. You let the BLM kill people almost. Officers died, David Dern, if I remember correctly, defending his business. What happened? No one was prosecuted, I believe. No one was prosecuted for that death. But then you want to equate this to January 6th protesters? There's some people on the left trying to do this. Craziness. But this is the Democratic Party. Democratic Party has always been the party of discrimination. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait. Tell me I'm wrong. Which party sees color? In these college campuses where the left dominates, who creates black-only spaces? Is that a conservative ideal or is that a progressive ideal? I mean, progressives throughout history has always been the party discriminatory, always been racist, always want to see someone as other because that's a communist tactic. And I literally believe that communism has taken over the college system. I honestly believe that. Communists love the education field. I don't know why, but I already told you why. He who controls the children controls the future, and that's what they want. They want to control our future. This is why I said from a long-term perspective, education is the most important aspect of fighting back against in the culture war. That's my view, right? It's not enough just to inform people, it's to educate them too. Hey, here's why these ideas don't work. Here's the contrarian view to this popular idea that the left wants to push on the youth. They think the youth being aligned with the left is natural. I say it's not natural. I say this is social conditioning. This is social engineering for left-wing causes. Department of Education, overwhelmingly Democrat. What's to say they didn't put a curriculum that heavily favors them? Many people believe in this myth of the party switch when the party switch never happened because 76% of American children are educated in the public school system, aka the government school system, ran by what? Democrat bureaucrats. This is why the conservatives want the Department of Education shut down. Look at this. Experts claim that COVID lockdowns are to blame for nationwide Gaza camp protests. Lie. BLM was going on during COVID lockdowns, and we didn't see this level of vitriol and ethnic hate. Another story. USC professor cancels finals, tells students to join Gaza camp, and said, F it, free Palestine. A USC professor cancel file. This is what happens when you have ideological capture. They did this before. Like, if you look throughout American history, the Black Liberation Movement, right? They did similar tactics like this too. Communists have always been in the education system, especially in the college system. Biden administration moves to bring Palestinian refugees to the U.S. When conservatives were complaining about the border. This is why. Come on, man. You really leaving yourself open to a threat right now. And Biden wonders why he's not popular. Colombia threatens to expel Gaza camp students who stormed and occupied Hamilton Hall. Like this, these students have been emboldened for years. They've seen it time and time again. Oh, we can do whatever we want. Tennessee Democrats was able to occupy the Capitol. Got a slap on the wrist. Everyone wanted him gone, censored. No, he got a slap on the wrist. James Baldwin in the Congress can disrupt a session in Congress, not be held accountable. Leftist protesters have this idea that they can do whatever they want because their party will save them. But not on this issue. And this is why they're getting so angry. Yet when I make a video and say that the Democrats are the real party of extremists, I got a bunch of liberals, old school Democrats that don't want to see the current reality of their party coming here trying to chastise me about the Republican Party. I don't care. We ain't talking about the Republican Party. When January 6th was happening, a lot of Republicans was condemning it. Where are the liberals to condemn this? Economic professors at protest screams, "I'm a professor," while getting tackled by police. This is some BS. Man charged with making bomb threats to a Republican Senate candidate and is donor to Democrat opponent. Yeah, political extremism, right? I remember I did this video. I didn't make a video, but I made reference to this. Bar rips far left protesters blocking roads. Activism merged with narcissism. And this is something that I think even Jordan Peterson highlighted in a video I did before. That liberals or people on the left tend to practice this kind of self-centered righteousness that they like to portray. This is why they protest so hard. That's why they protest with such passion. Right? And they're not tolerant either. Right? Because this clip I'm about to show you, it's been going viral. I don't know. I just saw it. UNC Chapel Hill. There were students that was protecting an American flag from these Palestine protesters. Let's take a look. Shout out to them. I think that's how you protest. You make your stance. Like what Vivek was articulating. Here, the Canadian truckers, even though they blocked traffic, in my view, they had public support because everyone knew exactly what the truckers wanted. Hey, do not push this on us. So this was easier for people to get behind. So yes, they caused a public disturbance. The Canadian truckers, I can see that. But I believe they had more public support because the public actually knew what was the end goal for the truckers. What did the truckers actually wanted? But instead, what Justin Trudeau did, debanked them. But my thing is, and this is what I've been arguing the most about, is consistency. The standards you place on one is the same standards you should place on the other, right? There was anti-white racism. Sorry, I did the air quotes. But there was anti-white racism on college campuses. Right? DEI programs, black-only spaces, right? Reintroducing segregation, but God forbid, white people only want white-only spaces. Then the black students will cry foul when they're doing it. I hate that inconsistency, right? Conservatives can't speak on college campuses. They always get banned. There's always some hoopla going around. Nothing happens to them for ideological discrimination, if there is such a thing. But now we're doing all this special consideration for anti-Semitism. It shows you, like, end of the day, it's about power at this point. They know a lot of these billionaires are Jewish. They know that the college pockets is going to get hit if they continue allowing their campus to be known as anti-Semitic place, right? But there's no same kind of level of pressure for racism. And this isn't something that a lot of commentators have been pointing out, that, hey, the left was doing this same kind of tactics to white students, to heterosexual males for years. Nothing happened. Now they literally, the left taking that same energy they used to focus on white Christian males, conservatives, black conservatives, right? People who don't think like them for years. Now they finally turn their ire to the wrong group, and now they're getting held accountable. This is why the left is not supporting Joe Biden right now. This is why Joe Biden is unpopular amongst Gen Z voters. Right? Because it's based on this narcissism that I honestly think protests don't work for this same reasons, because they could always put a bad look on your cause if done wrong. That's what happened with January 6th, in my view. Protesters going wrong, and then you get some people coming in here with bad intentions trying to destroy your movement. So I want to show this clip of Bill Maher a little bit, going into these narcissists, these protesters on the far left, and how they hurt their own cause, because they are. No evidence, no facts. They don't know how to debate. All they know how to do is scream and yell like emotional toddlers. This is why I say a lot of the left's activism is narcissism. I agree with Bill Maher here, right? But I digress. Let's hear what Bill Maher has to say about this topic. Oh, this is what I get for not using X, guys. This is what I get for not using X.
Finally, new rule: someone needs to tell the people who block traffic in the name of a cause, no one likes you. And you're probably hurting your cause. In case you haven't seen what's going on lately, activists for ending the war in Gaza have taken to gathering on roads and bridges and stopping commuters from crossing. It happened last week in New York and San Francisco, Chicago, Seattle. They also blocked traffic here on the 405, but no.
What's the common thread there that he just mentioned? All of them left-wing cities. I'm going to do a video. If I have time after work, I'm going to do another video where we talk about why cities are so left-wing. Like, what's going on with cities? Like, what is going on when you get a large population? It seems to make it go left. What's going on here? And I think a big proponent of that is the fact that there's college universities in those highly populated cities. And they're educating the youth, the future leaders, the future citizens of America into left-wing ideological thought. And this is why it seems like the Democrat Party is becoming more progressive, because it thinks that's what the young people want. Even though Justin Trudeau is very unpopular amongst Gen Z voters in Canada, same thing going on with Joe Biden. What's going on? Because this is my argument. I've been making this argument for a long time. People keep saying Gen Z is more conservative than millennials. I don't believe it. I do see that Gen Z voters are more moderate than millennials. That's what I see. And I think the fact that Gen Z is so moderate, they see that, Democrat Party don't make sense. At least that's my hope, right? This is why you see a lot of Gen Z black men are more likely to support Donald Trump than the older black men. The older black men's calling us coons and all this ish. And we're looking at you like, no, you trying to die with the shit, bro. Hey, doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. I ain't going to vote for your party because he's a Democrat. That's the dumbest ish I ever heard in my life. Give me a policy or something. Oh, what? There's nothing for black men? Oh, okay. I understand why black women are loyal to the Democrat Party. They get cash and prizes. The DEI program benefits them more than any other group in America. That's why they support the Democratic Party. Racism under new management. That's what it is. Because the Democratic Party never changed. They used to discriminate against black people. Now they discriminate for black people. Because they create this narrative of, hey, these are the groups you're allowed to acceptably discriminate against. White people. How is that not racist? How is it not the same thing as black codes? How DEI is not similar to black codes? I'll wait. Oh, we give you preferential treatment to black people because they need it. When you look at the stats, it seems like well-off black people benefit most from DEI than poor black people. No one wants to bring that up, though. This is my problem. I don't like the inconsistencies and the lack of application of punishment. What you do to one side, you do to all. Now they hit a cause that the uniparty don't like. Now they want to hold them accountable. Now they want to suspend and fire college presidents when they weren't doing it before in years past. I don't know. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But hey, I digress. Let me know your thoughts about protesting, public expression. What do you think it creates a credible protest? What makes a protest unpopular? Is it inconvenience on other people? Is it the idea that people are clear on what you stand for? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. I'll be interested to hear some of your thoughts on this topic. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.